Hannah Gadsby. This lady has a brand new special out, and I need to just jump right out here and say this. She isn't funny. She's terrible. She could perhaps be one of the worst comedians who has ever lived. Her stage presence sucks, her humour is awful, the delivery is just crap, and not to mention she's confused the great art of stand-up comedy with some sort of speech you'd give in high school. It's that bad. And you know what? While I'm throwing a bit of shade on old Hannah, let me throw down some truth bombs for all of you watching. She wouldn't be successful if she wasn't a gay, chubby woman. She wouldn't be successful at all. I guess the men of the stand-up comedy world just have higher standards. I also don't know what she identifies as. She might be gay, she may not. I'm pretty sure she's a lesbian. All I know is this woman hates dicks. I guess my point is she's only in the position she is in because of what she looks like, not her actual comedy, which is just sad. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go deep into this new special, but before we do, this video is brought to you by the amazing sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Now, you've probably heard me and others talk about Raid Shadow Legends in the past, but I am still no expert on this game, but I tell you who is. The great man, Professor Death Knight.
Hello, pupils. It's me, Professor Death Knight, coming to you from Teleria University, legally not a real school, with a math problem. If you create a hit mobile game in 2019, how many champions will you have 4 years later? The answer is over 700.
Wow. Now, let me ask you this, big fella. Who is your favorite champion? Other than yourself, of course.
All right, if I can't say Ultimate Death Knight, then I gotta say Ultimate Death Knight. He's my #1 boy. I'm not supposed to have favorites, but I do.
Now, do all these new and exciting champions make you a little bit nervous? Are you worried about being replaced?
Replace me? Well, if anybody replaces me, then I get to give them advice about everything I brought to the table, you know? That's just more opportunity to teach. My new passion.
Ladies and gentlemen, Raid Call of the Arbiter. The amazing new limited series is well underway, so go and check it out right now. There's also a bunch of brand new content in Raid Shadow Legends related to the Call of the Arbiter, including a free legendary champion, the mighty Orc Warlord Artak. All you have to do to get him is to join Raid for 7 days before the 24th of July. And if you haven't started playing Raid yet, use my link in the description or this QR code on screen right now to get insane bonuses. We are talking an epic champion, Drake, from the Lizardman faction, amongst other great stuff. Once you're in the game, come and find me under the clan name The Buttsman. But you gotta be fast, because that clan's filling up real quick. So, hit my link in the description, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you in the battlefield. Oh yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when Hannah Gadsby rose to prominence in the worldwide comedy circles, it was because of her eulogy-like comedy special, Nanette.
I love being mistaken for a man. I wouldn't want to be a straight white man. Not if you paid me. Although the pay would be substantially better.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny, I guess, if your target market is depressed, older, fat women, which I think it is.
I've built a career out of self-deprecating humour, and I simply will not do that anymore. Not to myself or anybody who identifies with me.
This is what Nanette was all about. It was a feel-good, speech, sort of TED Talk kind of comedy special, which was filled with quick little quips about, oh, I'm so gross and stuff, which is probably true. And I get that a lot of people like safe comedy. I don't know any of those people personally, thankfully. I hate people who just, all they care about is diversity in comedy and safe things that don't punch down. I hate those people. I don't have any time for those people, but these type of people love Hannah Gadsby and all of her comedy specials, and thank Christ I have nothing to do with them. It's not even comedy, mate. It's comedy adjacent at best.
Because what I would have done to have heard a story like mine.
Fuck, take a Lexapro and shut the fuck up. Hannah's a great example of why the Australian comedy industry is in the terrible mess that it is in. Comedians in Australia are terrified of doing offensive material because they have to fit in with these little circles that come from Newtown and Sydney and fucking inner city Melbourne. Mate, do what you think is funny and stop trying to impress people who will never make it in the industry because, wait for it, they're not fucking funny. We have these rules in Australian comedy where you have to follow them, otherwise you're not going to be picked for the TV spots where you get famous. Mate, that's just how it is. You have to be a progressive comic to get picked in those spots. And a lot of us, to that information, say fuck off.
Hello! Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Welcome to the opening night of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
You want to know what's wrong with Australian comedy? There is example A. She has a massive influence on Australian comedy and it is absolutely disastrous for it. We have now a whole generation of comedians who are just making their own political beliefs known on stage with maybe one punchline in the middle. And they get a couple of giggles in the audience and they think, yes, I've made it. Time to make a TikTok account and bitch about capitalism. Fuck yeah. Hannah's also attacked other comedians like Dame Edna or Barry Humphries before he died. In fact, she was the reason that the Melbourne International Comedy Festival changed the name of the biggest award that they give out, the Barry, to fucking, I don't know, the Hannah, I don't know. But they changed it because apparently Barry Humphries was transphobic or some shit. Barry Award was renamed after backlash over Humphries' controversial comments about transgender people, which included his description of gender affirmation surgery as self-mutilation. Well, it's not self-mutilation, but it certainly is mutilation. Have you ever seen what happens in that surgery? Look it up. It's fucking insane, particularly how they make a penis. I have no issue with trans people. Do your thing, all right? Live your life. But don't get the surgery. It's fucking just have a dick. Christ. Or don't have a dick. Just fucking Christ. Hannah also hates Dave Chappelle. She cuts sick at him, but she has been very busy of late. She's released a brand new comedy special and it's gonna take the comedy world by storm. Are you ready to laugh?
I have dragged you through a bit of my shit over the years, but it's time for some payoff.
Finally, after what seems like forever, Hannah Gadsby delivers a punchline.
This is going to be a feel-good show.
Okay, maybe it's my taste in comedy, and maybe I'm the one with the problem, right? But if I went to a comedy show and the comedian came out and said, tonight's all about feeling good, right? We're gonna be real positive, I would be so utterly disappointed. A comedian saying that would offend me more than the most offensive joke ever written. I am gobsmacked that people in the 2020s are entertained by jokes that would have been seen as safe comedy in the 1920s. You're not pushing any boundaries, you're not punching anywhere, you're barely writing jokes, you're just reading a book aloud. It's like listening to a fucking audiobook on tape, but you're on stage reading it. You're not even achieving anything when you make people laugh. These people, these women in the audience, would laugh at anything. They're off their heads on Xanax and white wine. You could pull your fucking hairy bush out, Hannah, and they'd giggle at that too. Clean comedy sucks. The end.
I got married.
Okay, the fact that she has a sex life makes me feel nothing but queasy.
I've had 3 knee reconstructions.
Can't imagine why.
My patella are spongy. It's actually quite painful for me to kneel. That's why I can't sleep with men.
It's a dick sucky joke, I get it. But that's the joke you went with to advertise how funny your comedy special is? Come on, Hannah, you can do better.
It's got to the stage in our relationship, we tell couple stories now. I know. But Jeno and I...
Hear the bleh? Replay the bleh.
I know.
She thought she was going to get a laugh there in her own comedy special, right? She didn't get a laugh, but they included it in the trailer. You need to fire your fucking editors. That's terrible. Apparently the best comedian that Australia has ever produced, Hannah fucking Gadsby, bombs in her own special. Nice. I have little ducks on there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little goose.
Just for the next hour, we're going to feel good together and then we can head back out there and be the mass extinction event that we are.
Fuck yeah, woke comedy. How good is it?
I didn't say who it's a feel-good show for.
You know who I feel sorry for? The editors who made this comedy special, working their fingers to the bone, adding laugh tracks at every possible location. Woke comedy just isn't good. It just is not good. If you go to a comedy show like an open mic night in inner city Sydney or Melbourne in Australia or anywhere in the world where you know that progressive comedians hang out, I guarantee you, if you had to measure it by laughs by minute, it would be fucking dismal. But you'd still have people in there going, wow, what a great show. Did you see his point he made on climate change? It was so great. Fuck off. Stop making points in comedy. Just make people laugh, you wanker. If you want to make points, go and be a politician, you. And it's because of all this that everything's fucking taboo in Australia, and that's why I'm getting dragged in front of the Human Rights Commission, which I still haven't heard back from, by the way. They said the case is going ahead. Feel free to let me know what's going on, big fellas. So cheers, Hannah, for slowly destroying comedy. I really appreciate it. But let me tell you this, people of America. The Butts Barn is on his way. That's me. If you didn't know, I'm talking in third person. What an asshole. Dates will be announced very, very shortly, possibly in next week's video. How fucking cool is that? I'm going all over the country. I think I'm doing about 10 shows, so not all over the country, but a fair few places. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, fuck off. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do something. I don't know. Do people even do that anymore? I'll see you next time. Toodaloo, au revoir. Bye-bye.
Pull out with his chopstick, I caught him like it's shame. Japanese bitches, they dancing in they bikini. Aiming at his body, I'm aiming towards